Hello everyone, I will show you the deck of Maxor Protector of Perim. I'm doing this video cause a guy sent me an inbox about share this deck. This is a deck around Maxor Protector of Perim. It's an overworld rare card, a hero warrior with the discipline courage of 110 and the discipline wisdom with 80 and 55 energy with fire and earth. The best ally for this creature is Tartarek because he shares both elements, has good energy, good ability for counter chieftain. The disciplines are basically the same to play the one attack. The and he has two music counters. Uh, to play Maxor Protector of Perim, you must abuse from the ability much as possible. And for that, the other creature I play are Bale. This becomes any attack damage into 5, and as the attack will deal always 5 with the ability something like I don't know, dead water will deal 5 damage to Maxor, even if there are something like curiosity tunnels that reduce the damage by 10, and that's because the replacement attack damage happens last during the damage calculation, so you will guarantee 5 damage always with the targeted attack of availability, and that will trigger a Maxor ability and with a good effect to get 5 more damage. And we have Drave because his ability it's gain 15 energy, and that's not just for buff Maxor energy, it can counter the burn damage against Arbeit, for example. And the other ally is Nayarin Haimush of the Lake, just cause he is there to play Return of the Nile, and there is not other reason to be there. The battle gear of Maxor is Evergreen Tunic. I choose this battle gear over Drill Dozer, that's cause Elemental Hate is more common than the Courage Hate, and Maxor has a 110 Courage, so if the attack Riptide is played against him, he will lose just 25 energy, so Evergreen Tunic will still give to Maxor 20 energy, and that's a good reason to play it over Drill Dozer. Then will Elemental Hate, this deck is just fucked. No, there is there is not much to do against that. You can try to play something instead of Surprising Riff, the music to counter Elemental Hate, but I'm not playing that in this deck version. But if you want to, if you don't want to take off one Surprising Riff cause you need to counter Serion Armor, I recommend you play or one Refrain of the Nile or one Interlude of Interruption, but this they have 4 negates. That's really important to counter burn deck against this deck. It's not an absolute advantage against Daniel Burr, for example, because even if you negate Unbalancing Battlesong and Caster Warzone, they still can run Refrain of the Nile of Daniel music or not. Well, that's just your personal choice. The battle gear of Tartarek is Phoenix Bolt to if Tartarek win a combat without using Phoenix Belt, that will be a really good advantage because you will be able to use it in the next turn. And the battle gear of Arvade and Drave are Mipedium Bayadir Flute, and this is a double H battle gear if you're facing something like other Drave or Ulquad or Interest or Copenhagen, etc. And for Nayarin is Asaya Mind Proof because every creature with 1775 or more wisdom should use Asayama Improve. The musics are two interludes of interruption and two refrain of denial. And as I said, you can play one music of gain element in case you wanna counter elemental hate. But I prefer this because I don't care of Carnival of Confusion. I prefer just negate elemental denial. And one rhyme of reckless and why surprising rifts to counter Serene armor. For the locations we have Rolling Forest because all the attacks I have are elemental attacks, and this is a location of why Invader Tactics is really good and recommended to every deck than don't play a 15 only damage 1 BP attack because Invader Tactics can, as it is an elemental attack, it can let you have that little counter to Growlung Forest or Everrain to get the additional the heal 5 energy those locations give. And Iron 1 Curiosity Tunnels come by that way. If an attack of 15 damage is will hit to Maxor Protector of Perim, he will just take 5 damage, and as it takes damage, his ability will let him have a additional 5 in the next attack, and if that continually happen, Maxor will just ignore the negative effect of Curiosity Tunnels and deal a lot of damage. And a lot of the attacks deal 15 damage, so Maxor will continuously deal damage even if your opponent don't want to do it. One Mipedi Mirage, this is just cause to let the opponent force it to attack Maxor Protector of Perim, but this location is double edge against Dungeon Born because uh, Dungeon Board don't care about Protector of Parent deck because it can or burn Drave or Arvade or deal damage to Maxor, and as they have Irabek with Water 5 and more musics with burn damage, you can just give energy to Maxor. You can just deal damage to Maxor and give the initiative of Mipedi Mirage, and that's why it should be played carefully, maybe on Nayarin Haimush of the lake space or in an open space of the battle board where the opponent must move into. So by that way, it can just ignore attack one of your fighters, but that isn't so helpful because the opponent can just run 4 fighters, and that's really common. And even if there are 3 fighters, it's not so good run Mipedi Mirage against Daniel Bourne. And Boreal Forest Ignore Defender is really important. Maybe I'm not running creators with Swift, by with Boreal Forest, if you can attack something like a Conjurer or Alexia or a super like Olmar with the advantage of no one defending that creature, can become a really annoying card for some opponents. But it's not, it's as its initiative, it's courage, there is not any double edge from your part. And we have Silchos Mine, another initiative courage location with it, all the creatures with Earth that are Tartaric and Maxor will have the Serene Armor effect of cannot take more than 20 damage by attacks from the opponent, and that's really good effect, and can be double edged, but that doesn't is its other advantage that Daniel Bourne can has over this deck. Text to strike, as we just need as we don't have 60 power with Tartarek nor with Maxor, we cannot run the attack of 3 VP of fire, and I don't really recommend the attack of air than change your location, that can change your locations, because that is not something really important in this deck. We need deal damage. We don't need care about tanking with Drave and be protected with our bait and have 4 negates. That's not enough. You need the all the damage as possible. And direct bribery, as Tartary has enough wisdom, courage, and Maxor 2, it can deal 25 damage. And consuming flake, cause fire, earth pool, core earth. Grapple greens is a staple attack card for earth fighters, cause remove a creature from the opponent's general discard pile can be really good in example of Macanas or a Mandiblor, or if you wanna counter Oni, you can remove Baton of Oni of my deck review. Or you can counter a Strain of the Tide, so removing an overworld creature can counter that. And if your opponent needs running Mipedian, maybe it can run a Ton Obserium. That's not a really common strategy, but that can happen. So you can remove the more annoying battle gear in the opponent's general discard pile. And that's all. It's a really good attack. I recommend it to every player that has air attacker, and 2 copies is important in my opinion. 2 Inferno Claws, 2 Marman Preparation, because it's my favorite attack, or you can just run 2 Carnywin. It's your choice. 2 Combustion Carnage, 2 Flame Bloom, and 2 Sediment Storming. And that's all, guys. Thank you for watching. See you.